I've shared my life openly on this podcast, and it has had many endings and many new beginnings. One of those new beginnings for me is starting to invest again after the end of my marriage. The last few weeks I've had some exciting trips with some friends from Newlands looking at plots of land in Juja, in Naivasha, and in the epic Narok, and I'm super stoked to start investing in real estate. I know times are hard, but there's no better time to start making wise investment decisions than now. I'll soon be sharing details of my Juja investment, but for now, check out their website, which is newlands, nulands.co.ke, or their Facebook page, Newlands Limited, and ask about the Living Truthfully payment plan. Coming up on this episode.
So it reached a point I was like, since no one can understand me and there's no hope in life, I might as well go. And I was very comfortable. I was very comfortable with that. So now you start thinking of the ways of going. So that's the point whereby I decided to go buy some tablets. Like almost 50 or 60 of them. And, there's that part of you that still wants to keep fighting. But I think it had been overpowered by the negative side. Yeah.
So now you have the pills. You're at home.
Yes.
What did you do? What happened? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good whatever time it is, wherever you are. Welcome to Living Truthfully. How are you doing? Are you well? Are you surviving with COVID? We could now have a drink in the restaurants. But the curfew is still on. How is this curfew working for you? Let me know. Send a voice note. Do an email, amanimaranga@gmail.com, or just hit me up on social media, DM me, tell me what is going on in your world. All right, so I have a fantastic guest in the house. You know those guys you meet and then first they look familiar. So clearly we've been in the same spaces a couple of times. You did tell me that we did church together at Crossroads. Did we talk then? At Bellevue. Did we talk then?
I think it was just hello.
Hello. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and then but you really just have a very distinctive face. But we're in a group together called Brotherman.
Yes.
And my guest, Mr. Biko Mang'ula, is a very interesting chap because you can. I don't know him very well, so I'm just gonna say what I see. One, someone passionate about doing good, and we've just been talking with him about some mentorship program he's doing, or some mentorship process he's doing with some young guys in a slum who live just near him, and but also just as you see, the way you can tell a character of a guy through the conversations you have in a group. I really think he's a very conscientious person, and in a conversation we were having, he said, "You know what? I have a story to tell." A story around depression and mentorship. And so, ladies and gentlemen, welcome, Mr. Kobe. Makofi tafadhali. How are you doing, sir?
I'm good.
Karibu.
Asante.
How's your day?
My day was good. It was very productive.
You said you have a story to tell.
Yes, I do.
Where does this story begin?
My story begins just after high school.
Okay. Where were you in high school?
I was in Highway Secondary School.
Okay.
Yes. So I had completed my high school.
Mm-hmm.
I had I'd received the results.
Mm-hmm.
I had not performed as expected.
Okay.
But at least I'd met the bare minimum of joining university.
Okay.
Yes.
What was that grade?
I got a C+.
Okay.
Yes.
That's not bad.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was a bit disturbed because I had expected to do, much better than that. But, at times life happens. So in the process of thinking of what next to do, I thought of looking for work. So I went out, looked for work through an acquaintance, and I was fortunate enough. I got some work to work at a mobile phone shop.
Okay.
Yes. Earning meg salary. Okay. I think it was around, was it 4,000?
Okay.
4,000.
All right. What year was that?
That was 2003.
Okay.
Yes.
But you're staying at home?
Yes, I'm staying at home.
And paying rent?
I'm paying rent.
You have 4Gs every month?
Well, at that point, things were not good also at home. Both parents had been retrenched.
Oh, wow. Mm-hmm.
Yes. So I'm trying to think of, how to go on, how to proceed with life. Mm-hmm. So here comes the job. I've worked for 3 months with no salary.
Oh, wow.
And this being my first job, and I'm very young. So I was a bit disappointed.
Yeah.
I was a bit disappointed. I even thought of, going to the Ministry of Labor to report the guy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But upon, seeking advice from my mom, she just told me, at times just let go of things. So I decided to resign since I'm not paying rent. I don't have so many expenses. I can go back to, my father's house.
Yeah. So to speak.
Yes. Yeah. So, and also during that time, I'd actually realized that one needs, further education in terms of the job market. You need to have some papers. So here I am. I'm not able to go to campus. And work is also a challenge. So I think in the process, I started to despair. Yeah, I started to despair. Yeah.
What did that despair look like? What did it? Was it just sadness? Was it anger? Did you take it out on something? Did you start taking a substance? What did it look like?
I was disappointed that I didn't perform as expected.
As you expected.
Yes. Yeah. Then, I'm frustrated. I'm not able to, obviously I'm not able to go to university to further my education. And I'm not able to get a good job that can further my education. So there was, I think there was a level of anger. There was a level of bitterness with the situation I was in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then there's this guy who took advantage of you for 3 months.
Exactly.
He's not paid your salary.
No.
So what did you do?
I thought of, I think I'm a very creative person. So I thought of volunteering.
Okay.
But the main challenge with volunteering was that it would only happen on Saturdays. What would I do Monday to Friday to engage my time?
Okay. Where did you want to volunteer? What was the volunteering opportunity?
So there is Ungana. Ungana is an arm of AMREF.
Okay.
So I Googled and I found it. So it was just about youths, going to children's homes, doing cleanups, basically just, giving back to the society and at the same time engaging yourself as a youth.
Okay.
Yes.
So you joined Ungana?
I joined Ungana.
Once a week?
Once a week.
Saturday?
Yes.
But you have Sunday to Friday?
I have Sunday to Friday.
To figure out what to do with your life?
Exactly.
Okay. So what do you do with Sunday to Friday?
I decided to help out, do the chores in the house. But you see, that still, you can't do chores from 8 to midnight.
You can't? My mother should hear this. According to my mom, you can do chores 24 hours. I hear you. I hear.
Yeah. So it became monotonous. It became like a normal routine. And I've come to realize that I am someone who likes being engaged. I don't like sitting idle. So in the process, at times also, you can't even get, the fare to go to Ungana or to go do the activities. So I think in that process, I just started, despairing. Like I was just thinking, what's this life all about? Yeah, it doesn't make sense per se.
How old are you at this time? 19?
Yes.
I understand your reasons for despair. Maybe were you sad? Were you, and even when you're angry or whatever it is, how did it go from despair to a place of depression?
Well, I lost hope in life. I was bitter with God. Yes. Yeah.
Did you get to a place where you feel you were depressed?
So, what normally used to happen, I can remember, I used to tell myself, or I used to think that I'm going mad.
Okay.
And I think it started in the mind, then I actually verbalized it. So that's what I would verbalize like for quite some time. Like that's what I used to do alone. Yes.
What made you think you're going mad?
Because I had lost interest in most of the things. Like remember, I used to do the house chores. I stopped doing the chores.
Okay.
I used to, talk to my friends. I withdrew from my friends. And I just started losing hope in life. And I think at some point, I actually used to tell God I want to die. Yeah.
Your folks, do you have siblings?
Yes, I do.
Where are they at this time and what are they seeing from you?
Well, my older siblings had, they had moved out. The younger ones, they were in school. One was in high school, the other one was in primary school. So most of the time, I would be, alone in the house.
Okay.
Yes, with the folks. Yes.
And your folks didn't pick it up?
No, they didn't. They didn't. Yeah. Because at that time also, my dad was unwell. Yes. He was quite unwell. Yes. So most of the attention,
was on him.
Was on
so
him.
It was easy for you to be going down this rabbit hole and no one can see.
Yes. And also to some level, I'm an introvert. So most of the time I'll just, stay in my room. Yeah.
Did you ever get help? Maybe I'm assuming there was help and there was none.
By the time I realized that I was actually depressed, because I didn't even know that I'm depressed. I was already, so into it. And I was really, there's that bit of you that's worried, that wants to keep you alive. But there's that other aspect of yours that, you're satisfied with, with going. So
what was the trigger for that moment? What that you realize I am in trouble? What happened at that? What was going on in your life in terms of? For me, I realized I hadn't left the house in 2 weeks. I hadn't. Sometimes my curtains were not drawn. Because mine happened a little later. My curtains are not drawn. Not left the house. Sometimes I'd stay a whole day without having. Usually for me, my day starts when I shower. So I wake up. The first thing I do is take a shower. Then my day starts. So sometimes I'd realize it's 5 p.m. and I haven't taken a shower. So, and I'm like, okay, maybe I should shower because a guest could come or someone. And they find me smelling of yesterday, So it was that space after going through that for almost 2-3 weeks. One day I woke up and I realized this is not normal. It's not my normal. And so I asked someone to take me to drive me to a therapist I knew, because I wanted to talk to someone. I felt I had lost my mojo. That was how it looked like for me.
Mm-hmm.
What did it look like for you?
For me, I stopped eating. I was a skinny guy, but I stopped eating. I withdrew from my friends. Most of the time I was confused. I even think I lost my line of thought. Like, I wouldn't know that just, like on a normal day, you're supposed to do this, or you're supposed to think like this. I think I lost my line of thought. I would meet with a friend of mine, the one I reached out to during that time. But when it gets dark, like for instance, if I'm with you, I just leave you hanging and I disappear. So I felt like I was not safe. So I'd go back to my room. So my room was my safe space. Then even the fact that I'm telling God that I don't want to live, I want to die. Not once, but it like became like a mantra to me. So that's when I realized things are not good. Things are not good. I even, I started now, thinking of ways of taking my life.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
What stopped you?
I'm also a social guy. So there's a friend of mine a family friend I had reached out to. So he would at least try to engage me. Like, we would talk. I would go spend time at his place of business, at least to encourage me. He was born again. He still is. Then I had a friend who was a pharmacist. So in fact, it's a pharmacist who actually told me that I am depressed. Yes, because I didn't know what was going on. And when she gave me a pamphlet about, like the symptoms and everything, that was my eureka moment. I was like, wow, yes. Yeah.
So what did you do with the eureka moment?
By then I was so into the depression. So they would encourage me the much they could. But like most of the time I was alone. So the negative thoughts kept creeping in. And since there was, no one was, I thought they couldn't understand me. No one could understand me. So it reached a point I was like, since no one can understand me and there's no hope in life, I might as well go. And I was very comfortable. with that. So now you start thinking of the ways of going. So that's the point whereby I decided to go buy some tablets, like almost 50 or 60 of them. And there's that part of you that still wants to keep fighting, but I think it had been overpowered by the negative side. Yeah.
I won't even ask what pills you bought, but when you're buying 50 pills, what do you tell a pharmacist?
Well, remember, I had a friend who's a pharmacist. So I didn't go and buy the entire 60. I was buying them in batches of 10. Yes. Yeah.
So now you have the pills. They're at home.
Yes.
What did you do? What happened?
I was there with the pills. I was like, I'm comfortable. living in the world. So I took the pills. And, hoping that, that is the end. Yes.
Since you're here, the pills didn't work.
The pills didn't work.
I'm trying to picture in my mind what's happening to you, to your body, with 60 pills inside your stomach. Are you sick? Are you fine? Do you puke? What happens?
So funny thing, I wake up with a stomach, a really nasty stomach.
So you went to sleep after you took the pills?
Yes.
Was this at night? Were you hoping like I will take the pills, sleep, and then not wake up? Or what was that thinking? What was your strategy?
I was taking the pills to take my life.
Yeah.
To end my life.
So is it the pills that made you sleep? Or did you just wait to see if you'll fall asleep? And I am asking out of curiosity.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Well, it happened quite a number of years ago. I can't remember, everything in detail. But I think somehow the pills also had some influence in me going to sleep. Yes.
So now you wake up and the stomach is hurting.
Yes. Yeah. And I feel like vomiting. Yes.
So you go vomit.
Yes.
How did it feel?
Like I was saying, I just, it was a very nasty stomach upset and, a nasty headache. It's like, a very nasty headache. So I decided, I need to go take some water, to at least soothe the whole thing. Yes. But I was very disappointed that it didn't work. But there was that other, part of me that was also happy that I didn't die. Because like I told you, there's always that other side of you that wants to live, but it's overpowered. Yes.
So now you're disappointed you've not died. Your stomach is hurting. On a light note, you're a complete failure. Even you can't even kill yourself. So what do you do? What's your next step?
So after that incident, I came to the realization.
Did your folks figure out?
No, they didn't.
Wow.
They didn't. Mm-hmm. No one did until I think I confessed to my mom a couple, 1 year, 2 years ago.
Wow.
Yes. Not so many people know about it.
What did she say?
Well, she was astonished. Yes, she was.
Wow. Yeah. Okay, so now you've failed at death. See, maybe we try living, might succeed. What do you do with yourself?
And now a word from our sponsors.
COVID-19 has changed our lives in many ways. As an entrepreneur, I have come to appreciate the value of us sticking together. This is why I want to give you, the listener of Living Truthfully, an incredible offer to advertise your business on this podcast for, wait for it, whatever you can afford. Wow! That's right, whatever you can afford. This is what you do. Just send me an email on amani@thamanimedia.com with details of your product or service and how much you want to pay.
Wow.
That's it. And then I will get back to you, and once approved, your advert will be on the next episode. Take a chance on yourself and pay what you can. However, some subjective terms and conditions will definitely apply. At Living Truthfully, we have many friends. And one of these friends is Paushinsky. His real name is actually Paul Otieno. But I'll tell you why he's our friend. He's also the one who did our Living Truthfully logo. And Pau needs our help. Now, Pau has a brother who was involved in a hit-and-run accident on the Thika superhighway. And he almost died. Twice. The first time at the accident, and the second time, would you believe this, due to neglect in a public hospital. He's much better now, we're grateful to report. But he has been in hospital for almost 100 days, and the family needs 2.5 million Kenya shillings to get him home. So we're asking for donations. 50 bob, 100 bob, 200 bob, anything you can afford, nothing is too small. Send a donation to Victor Ouma Medical Fund, pay bill number 5107697. I'll say that again, 5107697. The account number will be your name. Please donate and let's get Victor back home. They aren't famous for their perfect hair, but they are sure about to be famous for their love of Formula One. Listen to Andy and Eve take on the world of racing unfiltered. Join them as they delve into their passion, as they provide insights and unbiased opinions on their all-time favorite sporting event. Listen to the F1 Pod on Google Podcasts now. And now, back to our story. Now you failed at death. See, maybe we try living, might succeed. What do you do with yourself?
So after not succeeding, I think I came to the realization that God still has a purpose for my life, and that was it. That was the about turn in my life, and that's now when I started, to take back my life. Because I'd been speaking to the pharmacist, so she told me, like, she advised me that I need to start doing the things I used to do before. So, like, helping out in the house, trying to socialize with my friends, just trying to keep myself busy. I was also fortunate enough to have a friend, at church, so he'd give me spiritual books to read. And at the same time, I also have a very good friend of mine. We've been friends from the past almost 12, ever since, that period. He was the one who was working with me. So he told me to write down events as they were unfolding. So I used to write down on pieces of paper, like how I'm feeling on a specific day, what happened. Yes. So that really helped. Yes.
Do you still have those pieces of paper?
Yes, I do.
Do you read them?
At some point, I actually typed out everything. So everything is typed up in a Word document.
Wow.
I'm thinking of doing a book.
Wow.
Yes.
I want to read it. I really do. I want to read it.
You will.
Do you feel like you're better now?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
What got you better? What got you to this place where you feel you're absolutely better?
Even during that process of healing, because I was depressed for like 6 months, and it took me like almost 7 months to get out of it. Because, like I was telling you, going back to my previous routine, and a lot of talk therapy, if I may call it.
Did you ever see a professional?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
I didn't. By that time, they felt that it wouldn't be healthy, maybe to go see a psychiatrist or anything. once they start prescribing medication for you, maybe they thought that I might get hooked
to a drug.
Yes. So yeah, a lot of talk therapy, and I can say this categorically. As I was healing, I felt like I was not yet 100%. So one day I was listening to Hope FM, and Tina was there, and she was speaking a word, and for some reason it's like that word was for me. She was saying that there's a young man who's been in bondage, and the Lord is telling me that today that bondage is coming to an end. And I felt as it's like a tingling in my brain.
Wow.
At that moment, and by then I knew I'm healed.
Wow.
Yeah.
Have you ever told this to Tina?
I've never gotten the opportunity to meet her in person.
Would you like to tell her?
I would.
All right, let me see if I can find her. So I'm calling Tina.
Mr. Malanga.
Hello.
Ati?
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Very well.
Very unexpected.
Is it?
I'm all ears, man. Go ahead.
So, I'm in a conversation with someone. I'm recording a podcast
Currently?
currently.
Okay.
And so you're actually currently on air.
You're kidding me.
No, see, this is something you're used to. Just being randomly
No.
on air.
Mm-hmm.
And he's telling me a story.
Right.
This story involves you.
Mm-hmm.
He says how, while you were on air,
Yes.
you gave a word
Mm.
that changed his life.
Okay.
And he'd like to say thank you.
Like right now?
Yes.
Can people hear me?
It's not live. It's recorded.
Oh, good.
So,
Okay.
so the gentleman is called Biko. So I'm going to let Biko just say hi, and then
Okay.
he'll tell you what he'd like to say. Biko, go ahead.
Okay. Okay.
Hi, Dina.
Hi, Biko.
How are you?
I am shocked.
Why are you shocked?
No, okay, I'm surprised. That's the word. No, it's not shocked. It's surprised. I'm surprised
Why are you surprised?
because I do not know where this call is going. But Amani has told me a little bit.
Yes.
So go ahead. Break it down for me.
Basically around was it 2003, 2004?
Yes.
I was I was depressed,
Yes.
suicidal, but I used to listen to Hope FM a lot. And during my healing time, there's a day just before you ended your show, there's a word you spoke, and I felt like that word was mine. And if I can remember the words, you said that there's a young man who's in bondage, and his bondage is going to end today. And just after you had said that, I felt a sensation in my brain, and I felt that I was healed, and I knew that I was healed. Yes.
Glory to God.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I've never gotten an opportunity to say, thank you. Because I believe God worked through you. Yes.
Now you got me all teary-eyed. Wow.
Yeah.
That is a fantastic testimony.
Yes.
And how are you doing now?
I'm great.
Good.
Yes.
Great is good.
Tina, thank you so much for your time. I really wanted, when you told me this story, I was like, she must hear this. I don't know what you were doing with your afternoon, but
Let me tell you, I'm in the right place at the right time. Now I'm just gonna get some Kleenex and boo into it. That's a fantastic. Just my goodness.
Yeah, just I think it's important to know that you've had impact and you have one more story to tell.
Amen. You too, Amani, because the fact that you're taking time to go ahead and place people's stories on your platform, you have no idea who you're helping. None. And someday when you're wearing a crown, because it will be too heavy, you'll probably need a wheelbarrow. This is good stuff. Thank you. Thank you for also telling the people's stories. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look for you,
Biko.
and we have some tea.
You're welcome.
I'm gonna look for you and we have some tea, but thank you for taking your time and for taking my call.
And samosa.
Oh,
okay.
Yes.
You're very
I
welcome.
will add samosa to that chai for sure.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tina. God bless you.
Take care. Bye.
Bye. Wow.
Yeah.
How did that feel talking to Tina?
Like the story of the 10 lepers.
Mm-hmm.
It's only one who went back and said thank you, because God works through men. Jesus was God, but he's also a man, and God worked through him. So God also worked through Tina. So I never thought in my wildest dreams that I would ever get a chance to tell her thank you. Yeah.
Well, God works in mysterious ways.
Yes.
Who knew today was going to be the day? What would you like to tell someone who's been down your path, or someone who's going through a difficult time? This COVID has changed lives, many for the worse. And maybe there's someone who's going through their moment of despair now, their moment of the dark moment. What would you like to tell them?
What I would tell them is that they shouldn't lose hope. There's always hope. There's always a way out. Because when you're in that state, you feel like there's no way out. You're not able to think straight. What I did, I reached out to a friend of mine. He was way older than me, because I didn't feel like my age mates would understand what I'm going through. So I reached out to him. And, that really helped. Like, just getting somebody to talk to. A problem shared is a problem half solved.
It's true.
Yes. There's always hope. And whenever you're in a certain situation, don't think that I'm alone in this situation. Never for 1 minute think so. But always reach out. And I want to talk to especially to men. Men, they feel like being vulnerable is unmanly. It's not. There's nothing wrong about sharing your challenges, because I call it a challenge. Everyone faces challenges. At times, you just need somebody to walk with you. Yeah.
How are you feeling right now?
When I look back, well, before starting this conversation, I was good. But when I look back, it's made me emotional, because it was a really, it sounds very, good right now, but back then, it was a really dark place that I was in. Yeah, it was a very dark place that I was in. Yeah.
How did you get to uni? What happened? How did that work?
So I approached a family friend.
Yeah.
Used to be a lecturer at Daystar. And I told her that, I'm planning to go to Daystar. So we exchanged ideas. I decided to do a small fundraiser. After I did the fundraiser, I managed to do a few hours while in Daystar. Then while in Daystar, I also got to learn about work study.
Yeah. The work study program, I know it.
Yes. So I applied, and I was fortunate enough to,
To get it.
to get it. Then I'd also applied for higher education loans board. So that's what used to help me.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you did your undergrad.
I did my undergrad. I never thought that I would graduate. I graduated with a second class upper.
Wow.
Yes.
So there is hope.
There is hope.
The situation as it looks right now, that's not the end.
It's not the end.
What's the highlight of? What's been the highlight of your life so far? What's been like a moment you can remember and you said, I'm really happy?
When I graduated, when I put on that gown, I never thought that I would graduate. I did.
Oh.
Yeah.
When did you graduate?
2011.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well done. Well done. I think we should clap for you. What do you think? Makofi tafadhali. So apart from volunteering now, what are you doing with your time? Are you working? How are you spending your time?
Currently, I'm doing an online course.
Okay.
For counseling.
Okay.
It's being offered by the Light University from America. It's actually a mental health coach training, first responder. I got to know about it from, where I fellowship. Because we need to start this conversation in churches. Because, we don't have so many mental health practitioners. So the purpose of this course is to empower people who are in the, serving ministry or helping. Let me call it the helping ministry, to help, the other mental health practitioners who are not, the numbers are not that large, at least to help individuals who are undergoing depression or suicidal. And in most cases, if you're not able to solve certain problems, you refer them now to the professionals, like the psychiatrist or the psychologist.
Yeah.
Yes. But I'm an aspiring psychologist.
Oh wow. Okay.
I am planning to do my master's in psychology.
What did you do an undergrad in?
I did Bachelor of Commerce, marketing, but I discovered my purpose.
You said you found your purpose. What's your purpose? Why do you think you're here?
In church there's a workshop that was organized, and the workshop was for individuals who've hit midlife crisis and they don't know their next step. Or guys who've just, you've resigned from your job or you've been fired from your job. So you don't know what next. So the purpose of that workshop was for individuals who are in that space. And I felt like I was in that space myself. So I decided to attend the workshop. So the highlight of the workshop was there's a lady called Matilda. She's the one who runs that program. It's called Halftime.
Okay.
Yes.
And another book.
Halftime, it's not necessarily that you get to 40 that you get to your halftime.
Yeah.
For me, I think my halftime came
Earlier.
So the highlight of the workshop was that the lady told us that at some point she told us to go and spend some time alone and think about what you feel God is, leading you to. So I went out, I wrote down what I felt was what God was telling me. So when I came back, we shared. So for me, it was psychology. That's your purpose. Helping people who are hurting, especially in depression or who are suicidal. Then the lady said that God will give you 2 signs that is his purpose for your life. So me just laughed it off. And the workshop ended and we went home. So the following day, and in fact, she said the following day, that's what is going to happen.
Wow.
That was on a Saturday. So Sunday, I wake up. I go to my WhatsApp. The minute I go to my WhatsApp, I see these short videos of a boy who used to deliver, I think, newspapers. And there's this particular lady they used to go visit with the father. So he knocked at the door and no one was opening. And remember that he normally used to go on those trips with the dad. So the dad didn't feel like going to. But the boy insisted that he has to go. So the boy went by himself. He was knocking at the door, no one is opening. So he continued persistently knocking at the door. Eventually the lady opened. So seemingly the old lady wanted to take her life.
Wow.
So it's this boy who stopped her from taking her life.
Yeah.
So that was the first sign for me. The second sign was...
so you saw like the young boy represented you?
Yes.
Okay.
So the second sign was somebody tagged me on Facebook. Because I think guys had known that I normally help out individuals, especially men who are, suicidal or depressed. So somebody had tagged me and said, Biko, come see this. So for me, that was my second sign.
What was on the Facebook?
I think somebody had written a suicide note on Facebook. Yeah. And for some reason, I always used to see myself I'm in a room and we are two people. It's like we're having
a conversation.
And I never understood that because it had happened several times. So I never understood that. So it's like in small bits, God was just showing me. Until now, I'm in this space whereby I'm a mental health coach. And, I am thinking of doing my master's in psychology. And I'm very passionate about it.
And I hope that God opens every door.
I'm sure He will.
For you.
Yeah, I'm sure He will.
Today is one of those days you were doing a mentorship, right?
Yes.
And you were telling me that you're mentoring these kids because you just saw them loitering and you were like, I got to do something about it.
Well, I've been mentoring kids from last year.
Okay.
And, in the process, as you go about your day-to-day, you see the same kids you've been mentoring just loitering around, being idle.
How did you start the mentorship thing?
I've always been passionate about, the youth. And myself, at some point when I was very young, I used to volunteer a lot. So during that process, I made friendship with a certain lady.
Okay.
She was also a volunteer with the Ungana. So we bumped into each other, and she felt like we could do something for the youth.
Yeah.
Based on our background.
Okay.
So that's okay. I think she had already started. So she was looking for somebody to come in and, help out. Yeah. I feel like I'm giving back to society because at some point in my life, I was also young and somebody impacted in my life. So I feel like I should also do the same.
This week, you're spending the entire week doing the mentorship program. How much of your time is it taking?
I'm there from 8 to 1 p.m.
Where is that?
The mentorship program is taking place at St. Catherine's. It's in South Bay.
Okay.
Yes.
So the kids come and you take them through this day, this half a day.
Yes.
You did say that some of them come from the slum. Is it some of them? Is it all of them?
In fact, all of them are from the neighboring slum area because that's where they normally do their schooling. Yes.
How can people like me or people who listen to this podcast plug into what you're doing?
The kids have various needs. For the girls, they lack sanitary pads, even the underpants. For boys, even just socks, or the same thing with underpants. And another thing we realized that most of these kids come from vulnerable homes. So especially during the COVID time when things are really tough, food can be an issue, not only for them, but for everyone. Yeah. So that's how guys can actually plug in. Or even, you can identify a kid and decide, maybe I'm going to pay school fees for this guy for the entire, secondary level.
You did tell me that some of the kids are one of the reasons, and this is something I've been trying to figure out. One of the reasons that teenage pregnancies are happening more now is because these teenagers are willing to sell their bodies for food, for sanitary pads, for real basics.
Yeah, that's true. But I can't say it's really selling per se. What you find is that maybe due to the financial constraints in the home, the parents may not be able to, purchase pads for the girls. So the girls might try to look for, another way of getting the pads, and, someone may take advantage of them.
So if I wanted to plug in, if I wanted to come and say, I have time, maybe I want to come and spend some time, or I have a little money, maybe I have a G, 2 Gs, whatever, I want to come and plug in, how do I reach you or the people that you're working with? Give the contact.
My mobile number.
Okay.
Yeah. 0720-840-522.
Okay.
Yes.
Email address, maybe?
My email is mang'ulabiko@gmail.com.
All right. So you know how to reach him, Mang'ula Biko. Mang'ula, does it have that apostrophe at the top when I'm writing it on Gmail?
When you're writing on Gmail, no, it doesn't have.
It's just it's like Mang'ula.
It's like Mang'ula.
Mang'ula Biko@gmail.com.
Yes.
And you had his number. We're going to post it on the show notes. Yeah. I was going to ask, how old are you? Are you dating?
Not at the moment.
You see, you know, have a 40-something% female listenership. It might work out for you. Drop your age.
I'm 35.
35.
Yes.
And he's single, and he knows his purpose. And he already dropped his number, so you know what to do. You have everything you need. Folks, I keep telling people this. There's purpose in pain.
There is.
You can always find some purpose from your pain.
Yeah.
And it seems like you did.
Yes, I did.
God bless you, bro.
God bless you too.
Asante sana.
Karibu.